I'm gonna remember his smile. It just lit up the world.
Family members of a boy killed in a fire are remembering the 2-year-old who had a big personality.
Flakes have been flying out there tonight, and now the cold air continues to roll into the area. We'll track all of it.
And the UK football team is getting closer to bowl eligibility. Highlights Kentucky's game against Charlotte coming up.
This is WKYT News at 11.
We are getting a glimpse of winter tonight. Thanks for staying up with WKYT. I'm Kristen Kennedy. Some parts of the bluegrass saw snow this evening, and wind gusts are making it feel even cooler outside. WKYT meteorologist Jim Caldwell is taking a look at the forecast.
Yeah, a little taste of wintry weather showing up. And I'll tell you what, it looked like a winter wonderland out there at Caldwell Stadium a couple of times tonight with that wind just whipping that snow around. Tonight, at this particular moment in time, we are still tracking some flakes of snow, especially out in eastern Kentucky, but more of the chill showing up now with a lot of mid-30s now dominating temperature-wise here in central Kentucky. Let's show you what the Defender Network is showing here now. You watch over the past few hours, a few little very small snow showers making their way through Fayette County and then moving eastward. That's where you're going to find the better concentration. Watch what happens when it gets to right where the mountains start. You can even see that on the map, where the foothills begin and then the mountains get a little bit higher. The snow starts just blowing up all over the place, essentially from parts of Rowan County all the way back down into Jackson and Laurel County. So the snow showers really enhancing out there. Maybe a little rooftop coating, a little on the car. So out in eastern Kentucky, that's going to be the targeted zone for more of the snow. And you can see it there with our model data shooting it through there. So overnight, flakes increase, very cold, very chilly, sun and clouds for you as we get into the day tomorrow. Look at those highs. Those are highs for you tomorrow, eastern Kentucky, only in the mid-30s. We will track the chill for everyone else coming up in just a few minutes.
We are tracking a developing story out of Europe tonight. The U.S. Embassy in Belgium is asking Americans in the country to shelter in place and stay at home. Belgium's Government Crisis Center raised the terrorism alert to its highest level. They say the threat of an attack in the Brussels area is, quote, serious and imminent. Back here in Kentucky, a Frankfort woman and her month-old daughter remain in the hospital tonight. They're suffering from bad burns from a fire that tore through their apartment complex early Friday morning. 2-year-old Demetrius Johnson, DJ, died in that fire. Family members say they will never forget his smile. WKYT's Garrett Weimer has our top story at 11.
It was hard for DJ's father, also Demetrius Johnson, to talk about his son. The emotions, he says, still too raw, just a day after the boy's death. The fire took their home and many of their things, but the biggest loss of all.
I'm holding up, but I'm still hurt about it. But losing my son, it really hurted me. I don't want to talk about it right now because I don't want to cry on the phone.
Demetrius Johnson was at Shriners Hospital in Cincinnati. That's where his wife Whitney and 1-month-old daughter Nyla remain, recovering from their burns. Johnson was at work when the fire broke out. Now he's forced to face losing the son who shared his name, a little guy many remember for his big personality.
He was fun. I'm gonna remember his smile. It just lit up the world.
The little boy, he'd say, hi. It was so sad.
In just the day since the fire, family members say Whitney and Nyla have already shown signs of improvement.
Yeah, they're going to get better. They said it'll take a couple months.
But losing little Demetrius hasn't gotten any easier. And with that smile the fire stole from them forever in their minds, it likely never will.
I pray for him and his family, and I love him, and I'm gonna miss my nephew.
The big question, why did that fire start? We don't know, and investigators say it could take up to 10 days to figure out because of all the damage. At the live desk, Garrett Weimer, WKYT.
You can find a link to a GoFundMe account to help the family on WKYT.com. New tonight, the family of an Allen County man charged with killing a 7-year-old girl says he is innocent. State police arrested Timothy Madden yesterday, nearly a week after finding Gabby Doolin dead in a creek near Scottsville High School. Gabby went missing during her brother's football game. Madden is charged with murder, rape, sodomy, and kidnapping. His father-in-law says Madden is innocent.
He gave up. He was at my house. I live right on top of the hill. And I went up through there, and he just said, I told him, I said, well, Timmy, they out here to arrest you. And he said, well, if they're going to arrest me, said, I wish they'd go ahead and arrest me. Said, we can get through with this and get it over with and get it behind us.
Madden is in the Barron County Detention Center. State police in Henry County found two brothers dead yesterday. Troopers say they found 61-year-old Richard Parrish and 69-year-old Oscar Parrish unresponsive at their home on River Road. They've scheduled an autopsy for tomorrow. Troopers say the initial investigation shows no signs of foul play. Lexington police are investigating a deadly crash that happened this morning. Police tell us the driver hit a pole on Nicholasville Road near Burt Road around 7 a.m. Emergency crews took the man to UK Hospital where he died. The Fayette County coroner has not identified him but does say he was 58 years old. Police are looking into whether a medical condition may have led to the wreck. A judge turned down a request to block hearings that would determine if hundreds of eastern Kentuckians can keep their federal disability benefits. Nearly 1,800 people in eastern Kentucky are involved in a lawsuit against the Social Security Administration. The judge ruled that the people who want the injunction against the hearings must undergo hearings to redetermine their eligibility status before challenging the SSA in federal court. The plaintiffs originally won disability benefits through Floyd County lawyer Eric C. Kahn. Congressional investigators think Kahn used fraudulent information to secure those benefits. Kahn is denying any wrongdoing, and he is not facing criminal charges. Well, they are one step closer to a bowl game. Tonight, Kentucky took on Charlotte at Commonwealth Stadium, and the Cats finally snapped that 5-game losing streak. Lee K. Howard joins us now with highlights. Finally, Lee K., another win.
Yeah, finally. You know, before Kentucky could focus on the big game next week against Louisville, they needed to take care of Charlotte for a 5th win of the season. Drew Barker getting his first started quarterback for the Wildcats. And he would march the Cats down the field on the second offensive possession after completing a 4th and 9. JoJo Kemp finds the edge, bounces to the outside for the 6-yard touchdown. 7-0 Kentucky. It was a sign of things to come. The Wildcats were good on 3rd down tonight as well. Barker didn't have to throw it much, but when he did, it was good. On 3rd and 13, Barker hooks up with Jeff Bedette. That'll set up a 4th and 1. That sets up this. Kemp straight up the middle, escorted by big Jacob Hyde to the blue carpet. 17-3 Kentucky. The Wildcats led 20-3 at the half. Second half now, more from the ground game. Boom Williams on 1st and 10 from the 20. Outruns everyone. You know, on a night where everyone was focused on the passing game, it was the running attack that shined. Williams again, this time from 53 yards away. The Wildcats had 415 yards rushing in this one. Barker adds 129 in the air, and Kentucky wins handily 58-10. Mark Stoops is on the podium as we speak. We will hear from him coming up a little bit later in Game Time. Kristen?
Looking forward to it. Thank you, Lee K. Winter is fast approaching, and a couple Madison County businesses want to make sure everyone stays warm. Purdy's Coffee and Purdy Embroidery and Screen Printing in Richmond are collecting coats that they'll give out to the community. WKYT's Mike Byer shows us how to donate.
For the 2nd year now, Purdy's Coffee and Purdy Embroidery and Screen Printing in Richmond are kicking off their annual community coat drive.
Last year we donated the coats to Lexington, and this year we wanted to bring the coats to Richmond, to our community.
So far, Purdy's Coat Drive has collected a handful of coats. They will be given to a local food pantry and clothing closet called Grace Now. For every coat donated, Purdy Embroidery and Screen Printing will donate a winter hat, and Purdy's Coffee will give a free cup of coffee to each person who donates. The two businesses will be accepting both brand new and gently used coats until Small Business Saturday on November 28th. The coats will then be taken over to Grace Now on November 30th.
To think that families are going to spend a whole winter without a jacket, I can't even bear the thought of it. So we want to make sure that the people in our community are warm.
Last year, the two businesses collected nearly 70 coats like this one. This year, they say their goal is to reach 100. In Richmond, Mike Byer, WKYT.
Organizers say they'll give the coats to anyone in need of one. Like Maker's Mark is boosting its bourbon output. The producers of Maker's Mark whiskey are pouring about $47 million into an expansion that features a new still. The expansion includes more fermenters and storage warehouses. Maker's plans to increase its yearly production to 2 million cases in the next 10 years.